Most dental practice owners do not realize how much mental energy they spend worrying about money. Not because they're failing, but because they're guessing. Guessing if payroll is too high, guessing if overhead increased, guessing if profit margin is strong enough. Financial stress rarely comes from numbers. It comes from uncertainty. Today, I want to talk about what financial clarity actually feels like and why it changes everything inside a dental practice. Here is what we see all the time. The practice is busy, revenue looks solid, but the owner still feels tense. Why? Because they don't fully trust the numbers. They're not sure if employee expenses are aligned, if dental supplies are under control, if lab costs increase, if their EBITDA margin is strong, and if their profit margin supports growth. Without clarity, every decision feels heavier. Hiring feels risky, expansion seems risky, investing feels risky. Not because the practice is weak, but because visibility is unclear. If you haven't met, my name is Bhola, and we specialize in bookkeeping and financial reporting for dental practices. We help practices get clean, updated monthly financials so ownership can make better business decisions. On this channel, we focus on clear numbers, better decisions, and higher profits for your dental practice. Let's anchor clarity in real numbers. An average single location practice often looks like this as a percentage of income. Employee expenses around 31%, dental supplies at about 5.58%, overhead expenses around 9.77%. When expenses are aligned, average single practice often operates near a 35% EBITDA margin. Group practices often operate closer to a 17% EBITDA margin. Financial clarity means knowing exactly where you stand relative to these numbers every month, not guessing, knowing. Here's what financial clarity actually feels like. Confidence in decisions. When you know payroll is at about 31%, dental supplies are at about 5.6%, lab costs are steady, EBITDA is near target. You make decisions faster. You don't debate internally. You don't delay unnecessarily. Clarity reduces hesitation. Control over expenses. If employee expenses increase from 31% to 34%, you see it immediately. If dental supplies increase above 6%, you investigate quickly. Instead of reacting emotionally, you respond logically. Clarity turns reaction into strategy. Calm around cash flow. When your profit margin and EBITDA margin are consistent, you understand why cash moves the way it does. Loan payments expected. Equipment purchases planned. Clarity removes surprises. Strong leadership. When owners understand their numbers, they communicate more confidently with their team. They set clear goals. They hold departments accountable. They evaluate performance objectively. Clarity strengthens leadership. Alignment with growth goals. If you plan to add an associate, expand operatory, open another dental practice, or prepare for a sale, your EBITDA margin matters. Single dental practices near 35% are positioned differently than those at 25%. Group practices near 17% operate differently than those at 12%. Financial clarity lets you evaluate growth decisions from a position of strength, not emotion. Here's an example. Let's compare two owners. Owner A, unclear financials. Revenue about 1.4 million, bank balance fluctuates. Payroll feels high, supplies feel high, not sure about actual percentages. EBITDA margin, unknown. Every major decision feels risky. Even if the practice is profitable, it's unstable. Owner B, Clear financials. Revenue, $1.4 million. Employee expenses at 31%. Dental supplies at 5.6%. Lab costs at about 5.8%. EBITDA margin is about 34 to 35%. They know where they stand. When payroll increases slightly, they address it early. When revenue increases, they know exactly how it impacts profit. Same revenue, different clarity, different experience. Here is the emotional impact of clarity. Financial clarity doesn't just improve profit, it improves sleep, confidence, focus, decision speed, strategic thinking. Instead of worrying about where money went, you think about where you want the practice to go. Clarity replaces stress with direction. Here is what I would take away from this video. Financial clarity is not about perfection, it's about visibility. When you know your employee expense percentage, dental supply percentage, lab percentage, EBITDA margin, you start leading. And leadership with clear numbers increases profitability naturally. Because when you can see clearly, you can improve intentionally. If your financials don't currently give you confidence and clarity every month, that's the first place to focus on. Because clarity changes how your practice feels and how it performs. Clear numbers, better decisions, and higher profits for your dental practice. And I will see you in the next one.